The Prime Minister traveled to Fredericton today to offer his support and condolences to a city shocked by 4 murders. 2 police officers and 2 civilians were shot early Friday morning by a man who is now in custody. The Prime Minister says he is moved by the way the city has responded to the tragedy.
Obviously, this is a moment to remember the 2 brave officers who fell in the line of duty, and the other 2 victims, and all of their families and the communities that are pulling together, obviously reflecting on this loss, but remembering that resilience comes with leaning on each other and being there for each other. I had the honor of spending a few moments with a couple of the families, and also with a gathering of police officers and their families, first responders from here in Fredericton, and I thanked everyone for their service and their continued belief that service leads to stronger communities and a better country.
Can you tell me what more your government can do to restrict long guns and to help protect police officers in this country?
I think obviously protecting citizens and communities and protecting those who are on the front lines to protect us needs to be an ongoing reflection. I think there's obviously going to be time to reflect on what we need to be doing to ensure the safety of citizens in their communities and those who serve as first responders and police officers. Now is not the time to be talking about that this morning.
The Prime Minister speaking to reporters during his visit to Fredericton this afternoon. Well, despite Friday's murders, the city did stage its Pride Parade. It went ahead despite the mourning that is still taking place in that city. It was a gesture of determination to return to life in the city to normal as quickly as possible. Our Brett Ruskin has more on that and the Prime Minister's visit.
Well, the Prime Minister is indeed here in Fredericton. It is going fairly according to schedule. He was scheduled to be here and Pride was supposed to happen today. It is going ahead as planned. A couple of new additions to the Prime Minister's schedule, including meeting with police officers as well as police officers' families earlier today in a closed-door meeting. He's also laying flowers at the ever-growing memorial that's being built at the police station with flowers and teddy bears and notes to the officers, again, to commemorate the 2 officers who were killed in the shooting, as well as the 2 civilian casualties in that tragic event. Now, as for the Pride Festival itself, the Pride Parade, there was some question as to whether or not the parade should go ahead. Many people, including some police officers that we spoke with, said, what are we doing parading and celebrating at a time just a few days after this tragedy, this killing of these 4 individuals? And in the same breath, those same police officers and the organizers of the festival said that these peace officers, these police officers, their job was to protect the peace and to allow the community to gather in peaceful celebrations like the one that was planned for today's Pride Festival. And so that's one of the reasons that the Pride organizers decided to go ahead with the Pride Parade. It was one of the largest turnouts for a Pride Parade here in Fredericton, and RCMP officers marched. There were Fredericton police officers at the head and at the tail of the parade, and I was standing there alongside on the sidewalk with crowds that lined the roadway, and the loudest cheers and applause came again at the beginning and the end when those Fredericton police officers passed.